Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is January the 28th, 2025. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. It was a good Tuesday. Excuse me, let me clear my throat. I actually started my day off a little bit weirder than normal. I woke up a little bit hot, I guess, like with the blanket and the heat on, just a little sweaty, which I don't like, obviously. I woke up like, I don't know, I felt like I beat my alarm maybe about an hour or so, which you never like. You want to go back to sleep in that situation, but like I said, I was too hot. So immediately get up, have a little sip of some water, and I get on myself because I've been nagging myself since like this weekend, like, Isaiah, you have to clean your shower. And I'm like, I don't want to clean my shower, I have to go to work. And I was like, Isaiah, clean your shower. So I did. So clap it up. We love to see that. Got that in. That felt good. Good way to start my day. Very productive. Work was not slammed, but we definitely had more work for me, so it is what it is. No biggie, no problem. It feels nice to like be in the 30s at work, like I've said before, so I'll take it. I'm not freezing my little tootsies off. Let's see here. A little bit of snack corner before we get to the food corner. I was really craving, really fiending a Rice Krispie. Like, I don't know if that's like a gym bro snack or something like that, like at least a cheat snack, because obviously you shouldn't be eating sugar. Y'all know I love sugar though. But like, I mean, hey, it's almost like a rice cake, just a sweet rice cake, baby. But I don't know. I've been watching a lot of gym bro TikTok, like reels, shorts, whatever the fuck, and I just started craving it. So couldn't get one yesterday. I said, you know what? I'm gonna get one today with some coffee, and it hit. It was so good. Like, that was one of those little simple things moments that I'm having like on my little 15-minute break, and I'm like, you know what? It's worth doing it. It's worth living. I don't know. It just felt good. But yeah, overall, the day went well. Gym went well. I've been having this like nagging feeling in like the back of my head, not just to clean my shower, but also like the feeling of I'm not doing this right. Like, I'm doing this wrong. I could be getting better gains if I just did blah 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 blah. And I think that kind of comes with, and don't get me wrong, I love getting advice. I love hitting up my friends and getting some insights. But sometimes I will tell someone like what I'm on, how I'm doing it, and then they kind of will give me a critique or say, "Oh, well, you should really change blah and blah, and like it will go better for you. You'll see some changes in X and Y, right? And you'll get that thing that you're kind of upset about, wanting to work on, whatever." And I'm sure that they're right, but like there's a thing for me right now, and it's been this way since I got to around month two, I feel like around month two, where I was like, I don't want to say I'm too stubborn about this, but like I know what I'm looking to get out of this. I've done my own little bit of research on this, and I know I'm not crazy for wanting to integrate more cardio than maybe average, but it's one of those things where you do doubt yourself at times. And I think it's so frustrating too, because like I can see the progress, I can feel the progress, but like it just is like not enough. Like, it's just not enough. And that's why I'm body dysmorphia or whatever. But I'm just like, I'm just a blobby sack of fucking shit potatoes. And I just feel so bad about it when I think about it too long or too often, whatever. But today was really nice for some weird reason, where I kind of was hitting my equipment, and like it just went well. Like, I wasn't struggling as much as I feel like I had if I was to like wind the clock back a week or two ago on some of this. Like, and I'm like, yes, see, Isaiah, the plan is coming along. Like, if you just keep sticking to it, you can up your amounts and do your thing, and it's gonna be fine. And you are seeing results. It's just not fast. You just have to be patient. And patience is never my virtue, y'all. It's always one of the things I've struggled with since I was a young wee lad, there you go. And at 34, it's still an issue, it's still a hurdle for me. But I just kind of have been having those feelings, and for some reason today it kind of helped dispel them. I don't know how. Maybe it is just a lock in kind of thing, it is whatever. But it was nice to kind of like look in the mirror, have the good workout day, and just be like, we're fine. We're gonna keep on this, and I do have some plans. I am scheming on some things. Like I would really like to get into maybe the bench at some point. But my overall thought and theory on that is I want to wait till I get to a certain kind of weight and place, with my fitness goals or whatever. And then I want to start, maybe cutting down on the cardio, upping up on the lifting, and really going harder that way. But we'll see. I have like a soft month date in mind for that, but I'm not beholden to it quite yet. You know what I mean? Right now, I really do like the path that I'm on. I love the feeling of doing a good amount of lifting in a day. I can generally run it down within 20, 30 minutes and then just getting an hour of cardio in. It just feels really good. It just does. And it is nice, like, every so often you do see the results. It's just, once again, I think another thing too that's been maybe fucking me up too, is because I'm watching all these gym reels, TikToks, whatever the fuck on social media. You see these guys, gals do these smash cuts, these like transformation situations where they go from one body type and it's like, yeah, I did this in 4 months and now I'm this and I look like an Adonis. I look like a Greek god. And it's like, that's really cool. But you don't know their whole path. You don't know their whole journey. You're just seeing a quick edited video. That's not for me. That's not me critiquing or anything like that, but I'm just saying that's their journey. It's not yours. It's not mine. And we can all get to where we want to go, but you don't have to set your pegs to other people. And I do that, I think, a little too much. That being said, it is nice to see people around me also making these changes, these goals for themselves and getting out to the gym and making it happen. I love that shit. Like, I love being in the mix with people like that. Like, I was having a little DM exchange with one of my homies, and I told him, I'm like, bro, I saw you posted a gym photo. I'm like, your shit is looking nice, bro. Tell me how you did it. Like, so like I said, as much as like sometimes it can kind of be a little bit frustrating to maybe get a little bit too many critiques or whatever, but it's just nice to see what a person's method is and then take my own notes from that. And really, it's just nice to give people credit and give people props and like, give them their flowers. And, here's hoping I get to work out with said gym bro. I would love that too. That's another goal for me this year, is to like really get a good pump in with a homie, bro. Pause. No, I really want to have a couple moments like that, but it is also hard to do that because I'm 34 years old. Making friends is hard. Having a busy schedule makes it even harder to like hang out with said friends. It sucks, but it's all good. We move. I'm gonna level with y'all. This is gonna be a long episode. I done blog longer than usual. I gotta tell you, this feels like 2 episodes in one that I'm gonna try to attempt to accomplish here. So let's go ahead and take our first, our startup. Let's get into it. Let's get into the work, and let's do the real yap, the real work, the real shit, the true news. I don't know. I'm just talking shit. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good ship lollipop. Yeah, I don't know what that even means. Anyway, from ABC News, passenger plane catches fire at South Korean airport. All 176 on board evacuated. So obviously they're very harrowing first sentence, but good to hear that everyone got out of the plane this time alive. We love to see that. That's that. We're technically starting off with like some dramatic good news in a way. The tale of a passenger plane with 176 people on board caught fire before takeoff at an airport in South Korea Tuesday night, news reports said. All passengers and crews were safely evacuated. And I got to pause here because this is it's ABC News. They got crew Weir, by the way, WEER, safely evacuated. See, that's a hurdle right there for me, the guy who's just trying to like baby bird the news to y'all. But hey, we are all human beings. That's the point I want to make here. Or maybe we're not. Maybe a little bit of AI is involved here. Maybe they used a little bit of the deep sea. Maybe they were on that open AI. Probably they open AI. Probably open AI is the reason we fucked up here. I don't know. Who can say? But either way, this was edited a little bad. And I got to give my little, got to tisk here. Because, I mean, hey, I'm doing this off of Patreon subs. A few of them, and I love y'all. But I ain't getting really paid for this shit. They are. So, I don't know. I felt like throwing that out there. When they fuck up, I got to throw that out there. The Air Busan plane at Gimhae International Airport in the southeastern city of Busan was bound for Hong Kong. Hong Kong. See, I'm fucking up though, and I'm human. I'm real. Anyway, Yonhap news agency reported the 169 passengers and 7 crew members were evacuated using an inflatable slide, the report said, adding that 3 people were injured, but their condition wasn't serious. So we'll go ahead and just start that, leave that there. Obviously, good that everyone got out. Crazy, though, that we've had in, like, less than the span of, 2-3 months, 2 big, air, problems, plane problems out of South Korea. You know what I mean? I will say that's more coincidental than anything else, most likely. I'm not connecting the dots here or anything. I'm not even putting my speculation hat on, okay? I'm just saying, crazy shit, right? Crazy world. Anyway, let's go ahead and move along. Let's take it to Serbia. Now, I don't think this is an update. Look, I'm just in the newsroom. I'm just chopping it up day after day after day after day. There's no stop. There's no quit here. So sometimes I do miss things. Sometimes I don't miss a thing, but I think that I did because it's mentally, it's just been paved over by so many other things. And it's oopsie. So who knows if this is an update or new news for everyone here, my dear listeners. Well, let's dig in. From the Associated Press. Serbia's prime minister resigns as anti-corruption protests sparked by deadly collapse swell. And I'm leaning towards I did cover this, but once again, I am not going to bet the farm. Serbia's populist prime minister, Milos Vucevic, I didn't Google this one, we're just hitting it raw, Milos Vucevic, resigned Tuesday in an attempt to calm political tensions stoked by weeks of massive anti-corruption protest that started after the deadly collapse of a concrete overhang at a recently renovated train station. The November collapse at a central station in Novi Sad. Oh, excuse me, that was a bad burp. I feel like a Budweiser frog or something. One of Serbia's largest cities, killed 15 people and happened months after it reopened, fueling accusations that the construction was unsafe. The tragedy has become a flashpoint for broader dissatisfaction with Serbia's authoritarian rule and has led to growing public demands for transparency in the graft-plagued country that has carried out a quick series of large infrastructure projects, mostly with Chinese companies. Egad, Chinese companies! You know what that means? They're working with the enemy! Ah! I'm sorry, bro. Dude, I'm so mad. And I gotta take an aside here, because I've been, obviously I listen to at least some piece of news every day. That's just my vibe. That's my hobby. I turn my hobby into a podcast. What can I say? But I was listening to some odd lot shit. I was listening to some economist talk bullshit, whatever. Because I'm always trying to get a bigger, better lay of the land as best as I can with my fucking dumb brain. And it was crazy to hear some dude just more or less just do defense for OpenAI, for these American artificial intelligence fucking corporations. And I mean, I'm sure you could put this guy on a lie detector test and he could pass it saying he isn't doing that. He's just speaking from the hip here. But it's bro, I don't get why sometimes we go out of our way to like speculate on how China is like getting over on us or getting over on the world or whatever, bro. Is it possible that they just do more with less sometimes because you force them to? Like, isn't that a thing? Because it's not just China that does it. You don't hear them doing like, I can't believe the Houthi rebels are able to stop, all these other people from coming through their area in the Red Sea. Like, how do they do it? They work with what they get. They work with what is available. Like, what? I don't know, man. This shit, it bugs me when you have to like hear stories of this like time after time, year after year after year after year, dude. And to know that this is just an historical norm. It's just the way that this fucking shit is. All these, like, everyone in the hegemon, all the ones in the big top, just think they cannot be fucked with. And whenever another rival, another adversary, another person, or another nation state, whatever, they're like, man, I can't believe they did this. There's got to be something fucked up here. Clearly they're lying. Come on, bro. Get over yourself. Anyway, back to the resignation at hand. There we go. The protests, including one Tuesday evening in Novi Sad, that drew thousands of people, have spread to streets and university campuses throughout the country of roughly 6.6 million people, as citizens from all walks of life, including actors, farmers, lawyers, and judges, have thrown their support behind the student movement that has rattled the country's most powerful figure, President Alexander Vucic. So the students have like really led this like big movement to try to say, hey, we're not going to let this just be swept under the rug. Like, a whole tragedy happened that could have been avoided. This tragedy was literally made from grift. Like, the idea that people were just skimming off the top, instead of actually investing in the projects you're saying you're investing. And then you build something that's pretty much half built, and then people fucking die because of it. So, no, we don't want to see this shit anymore. We want to see some fucking change. That being said, this kind of almost just feels like lip service, because we have a situation here in Serbia where the prime minister isn't exactly like a Benjamin Netanyahu, where at least he doesn't have the same juice. More of the power, I believe, is in the presidency. So the Vucevic guy is essentially the guy with the juice. He's the guy you kind of have to, make capitulate. And if he's not going to capitulate, you're not really getting anywhere. You're not really having anything happen here. Also, I love this. This is something I kind of wanted to have another rant about. Led by the right-wing Serbian Progressive Party. How are you right-wing and progressive? How does that fucking work? Like, that just doesn't make fucking sense, bro. Like, I hate when, like, these right, like, these conservative, alt-right, whatever the fuck, like, mask themselves in this way. And I was trying to think of, like, the equivalent before I went on. And I'm like, I guess when you have, like, these leftist, socialist whatever groups or parties that then become like in government or in power, and they try to change their name, but they're still just trying to be hard as fuck or something. And I couldn't think of an example just right off the fucking top of my head. But like, is that the equivalent of that? I don't know. But I just fucking hate that, because it's just like a populist 101 move to like just steal the words that that the left like and people really just want to hear, and then you just pump bullshit into their ears, and they go, yeah, this is my guy. These are my guys. This is the administration I want to have in the future or now or whatever, forever. And it's like, dude, just go mask off. Like, if anything, it's nice to see the fucking Trump bullshit, because it's just right in your face, especially this time around. You know what I mean? It's just full on electric boogaloo. He's going to do his thing. We're going to get to that. That's like the other half of this fucking episode. But that's neither here nor there. So, I mean, we'll see if this is going to actually, spark any real change with, Vucevic, if with him leaving, if there's going to be any real changes to follow. That obviously remains to be seen. But I'll go ahead and bounce along to the next story, keeping it international. From CNN, Belarus president set to extend 30-year rule as critics slam sham election. Now, I believe this took place over the weekend, and I just really wanted to get to it before it got buried for me and I just got out of reach of it. It really is. I mean, it's an election thing, but, like, this wasn't much of a fucking election. Let's just be fucking real. Belarusians have been voting in a closely managed presidential election that is all but certain to extend the rule of Alexander Lukashenko in power since 1994, and Europe's longest-serving leader. So for just my own personal perspective, like he's been in power. He's been winning elections or whatever the fuck. Since I was 4 years old. 30 years. 30 years in power is crazy. It's crazy for this potato head looking motherfucker to be in power for that long. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just so he can be like the Tails to Putin's Sonic or whatever the fuck. I don't know, man. It's wild. Um, let's see. I'm gonna try to pronounce this name. Tisik Hanuskaya was like the only potential like real rival. I'm saying her last name. It's Svietlana Tikhanovskaya. And they're saying that she should have won. Let's see. Last time Belarus held a presidential election in 2020, Lukashenko claimed a landslide victory with more than 80% of the vote. But essentially they were saying that Hanuskaya should have won. In terms of this presidential election, I think the only other chirping I heard was like from a communist party in Belarus. And they're like, hey, we love Lukashenko. He's done a lot of great shit for this, this country. We think he's pretty fucking cool. And like, we're also here too. Like I'm paraphrasing, obviously. But I was just like, yeah, that didn't feel communist at all. That was like the most neutered dog bullshit I've ever fucking heard. So yeah, we can just move along. I think Lukashenko is a one. He's a winning. So yeah, I really didn't feel too compelled to cover it. I know this is going to be business as usual, anyway. This is kind of more of a nothing burger. But that being said, I try not to miss an election, whether it's a sham or whether it's not. I try to at least talk about it, so I didn't want to miss this one. Why not? Anyway, let's enter the Trumpverse. We have to go back. We have to go back. And you find out we never left. We might never leave, y'all. I mean, yo, and let me say this as an aside, because I'm gonna double boost it. We're gonna hit a break, actually. But people keep doing this thing where they move the chains. I remember when Trump lost in 2020, and not everyone, but there were definitely some podcasters yapping, people yapping, thinking, saying, we did it, it's over, it's done, we got a new hope in this old man named Joe Biden, and we can all move on now. We did it, we slayed the dragon. Trump is going to be on his little ski-doo, going around Mar-a-Lago, and everything's fine. Everything is back to norm. We're good. Democracy won. People really thought that. And I'm not Nostradamus, and I'm not alone in this thought. This shit was not going to be over. I remember, once again, just kind of going back to my old, personal well of memories and time, when we're talking about the Tea Party, right? And, I don't mean the Boston Tea Party. I mean the political freaks and yahoos that dubbed themselves the Tea Party and American government. And they were, busting on the scene as some alt-right fucking freaks. But you can, track their evolution as they, kind of snowball into this MAGA movement that is fucking Trump. And it's like, okay, this shit is not over whether or not this man is in power or not. MAGA is going to keep on moving, baby, one way or another. That's the grim truth. That's the reality of the shit, unfortunately. It's just a question of, is it going to, remetastasize or whatever into what it was before? Because if that's the case, there's no shot. It's gonna be worse. It's gonna be so much worse, right? But, surely not. That was the hope, at least for me. And I think people like-minded or whatever, surely, I don't know if Biden can win, but maybe just someone can beat him within the Republicans, right? Because he's a loser. He thinks like a loser now, right? But what if he didn't? What if he didn't think like a loser? What if they all bought the fucking hype and then he just fucking wins? And then you can just be like, whatever, it was a fluke. It wasn't real. Take a pick on whatever you want to call it, but I'm back. And that's where we are. That's where we fucking are. That's the reality of the shit, right? I'm just kind of saying this just to rant about it because it's, just the things in my mind. But god damn, it just fucking sucks that we're here now. And people are acting surprised sometimes. I've had conversations with people that are just like deer in the headlights, and it's how, dude? The dude wasn't going anywhere. Not to mention this ideology that he's cultivated, this sense of it's all them and it's not us and we're great and everything's fine. If you just put me back in power, you'll get everything you want. That feeling didn't go anywhere. It just just got more and more palpable. And you're just like, yeah, and then obviously Biden fucking sucks and Democrats fucking suck. But goddamn, we're just doomed to repeat this shit again, quite literally, but worse. Anyway, let's take a little mid break. Why not? All right. From ABC News. Trump says New Jersey drones were authorized after suggesting Biden kept public in suspense. White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt, that's new spokesperson for us, or press secretary, whatever, I'm sorry, said the mystery drones flown across New Jersey in late 2024 were authorized to be flown by the FAA in the first press briefing of Donald Trump's second administration. I do have news directly from the President of the United States that was just shared with me in the Oval Office. From President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. Leavitt said, after research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy. Now, I fucking love this because this technically, especially if you're coming at it from a Trump perspective, it has to put to bed some of these fucking bullshit things you were trying to come up with. Like, some people were thinking and speculating that Iran was somehow involved and they were sending drones over to fuck with New Jersey because that fucking makes sense in the lexicon. Like, that's one of the things I didn't fucking talk about because it was just like, come on, dude, can we be for real? Like, I addressed the alien shit, but like, that was as wild as I was willing to take it. Like, do you really think Iran, like, the shit, the year that they were having in 2024, they got time for that? Come on, brother. But okay, all right. I know you think they're the biggest boogeyman ever. So people were literally pumping that theory. I heard that shit in my warehouse. So I'm just keeping it local with that shit. But the idea that, okay, we can, or they're hiding something from us. It's aliens. It's from the, it's from another nation state or whatever. And it's like, no, this was something that was kind of on its face, most likely. We don't know exactly who they are, but they're all, like, these are all registered drones under the FAA. So, we can track them, and also it's adding that, like, we know that they're ours. And I think that was the biggest running theory that made the most sense. So essentially kind of coming out with that, with, like, not quite saying it, at least maybe I'm inferring the wrong thing or speculating a bit here, but that more or less is kind of what the vibe is. And then they also kind of add that, hey, this got out of control with more people, coming outside and thinking planes are fucking drones that are just probably planes. And then there's also, like, just more activity because people are flying their drones around. So it just added to it. But I think that something that's pretty relevant here is it's kind of, or not, there's no kind of about it. It's skewed that Trump came up with this. That Trump was, like, putting light on the situation. And Biden was hiding it and leaving things in suspense. But it's worth getting to this point. However, the Biden administration had on December 16th said in a multi-agency statement from the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI, the FAA, and the Department of Defense that though there were indeed drones flying over New Jersey, they constituted a combination of lawful aerial activity. So this kind of got said, and shit, even guys like me just go, okay, yeah, Shmeep from Biden, I didn't even fucking really hear or register that shit. But I'm sure other people are like, okay, yeah, conspiracy, blah, blah, blah. But, like, imagine you're a Trumper saying that shit, December 16th, December 17th. And now you got the Trump administration coming out and saying, hey, dude, it's all good. It's fine. And if you just literally take the trace paper, it matches. It's the same fucking statement. It's the same fucking statement, bro. So, like, why are you huffing and puffing about this? You just wanted to get worked up about something. And that's fair. I wanted to talk about this shit the second I heard there was another cluster of fucking drones. We still don't know, or I still don't fucking know, what the fuck those motherfucking cluster was doing flying and zipping around over the Pentagon. What was that about? Like, I still have questions. And I think, once again, the through line here is the government knows what the fuck these drones were doing, right? Like, they have an idea of what the fuck these drones are doing up there. They were just running shit. But why were there so many? Like, that's weird, right? Like, why were they moving like that? That's recorded that they were moving like that. So this is where I do actually get a little conspiratorial with the gang, okay? I'm with y'all. We're kikiing together. What's going on? Because it's weird. It's, what's that about? I'm sure it's, drills, or you're working out the kinks and the patterns or whatever. It would be nice. Maybe you're doing it like China, and maybe we could get a little cool drone show. That'd be cool. Maybe you were working on that. And then you wouldn't even have to tell shit. You just censor that shit out. It wouldn't fucking matter. I wouldn't hear about it. If I talked about it, I would get thrown somewhere. They would just block me or ban me, whatever. That would happen. Look at me. I'm doing propaganda. I should stop. But yeah, I mean, that's more or less the update on the drones, at least the drones out of New Jersey. I love that Trump just literally did just a repave, and it worked. It worked. Shit, it worked on me. Like, if I didn't stop to really double read that, oh shit, Biden talked about this in December. Like, I didn't even hear about that, or maybe I just didn't want to fucking hear about it because I didn't fucking care. I already wrote off the story when, like I said, people were talking about aliens and Iran doing drone stuff in New Jersey. Come on, that's gabagool. That's bullshit. Anyway. Let's go ahead and move along. I almost got in the weeds there, but I think I got through okay. I'll take it. Here's hoping I don't fucking freeze up anymore. That's a little bit of a whatever. Anyway, from the Associated Press, federal judge temporarily blocks Trump administration freeze on federal grants and loans. I was gonna say foreshadowing. I don't think it's foreshadowing. There's another device I'm supposed to have used just there. Anyway, whatever. This is some fucked up shit. I'm not trying to stick on it, just more or less highlight it. A federal judge on Tuesday temporarily blocked a push from President Donald Trump to pause federal funding while his administration conducts an across the board ideological review to uproot progressive initiatives. The order capped the most chaotic day for the U.S. government since Trump returned to office, with uncertainty over a crucial financial lifeline causing panic and confusion among states, schools, and organizations that rely on trillions of dollars from Washington. U.S. District Judge Lauren L. Alican blocked the funding freeze on only minutes before it was scheduled to take effect. The administrative stay, prompted by a lawsuit brought by nonprofit groups that receive federal money, it lasts until Monday afternoon. Another court hearing is scheduled that morning to consider the issue. The White House did not immediately comment on the order, which leaves unresolved a potential constitutional clash over control of taxpayer money. Democrats, who have struggled to gain a foothold during Trump's second term, unleashed on the Republican president, describing his actions as capricious and illegal. I mean, this is all according to Trump's plan. And once again, this isn't me trying to be see, I knew. Trump was not playing the fuck around. And not to mention, you can bring back the Project 2025 shit, which was literally the blueprint that they were all discussing. And I believe the dude's name is Stephen Miller. The New York Times did a little podcast episode just on this guy. And essentially, this has been a dude who is just so gung-ho about just all the xenophobic, just hyper pro-America bullshit, so much so that he was doing this shit in college, so much so that people did a fucking documentary about how he was just such a cringe, we know this dude wants to be in politics and he's kind of evil. Maybe they didn't say that, but it felt like that was just the general vibe across it. But when I say his name is Stephen Miller, I'm gonna look him up real quick. Maybe I'm wrong. There's Stephen Miller. Hold on. I'm sure I'm getting this wrong. Stephen Miller? Yeah, Stephen Miller. Cool. At least I get the name right on this. Yeah, this bald-headed fuck. Dude just seems like a grim fucking asshole. But he's one of the Trump loyalists who made it through the first term. And you'll notice that there's a lot of tumult there. Some people have stuck around through that shit. Other people, it's like, no, you weren't loyal enough. You were too in the swamp or whatever. And it's like, you're done. You're excommunicado. But someone like fucking Miller has like made it through the first wave. Trump still loves this guy. He's the like guy who has been like drafting executive orders, like setting up this shit. It's been all part of his like grand master plan to just like kick out as many brown people as he fucking can. Just really doing what he feels and considers the good fucking work. And so many things. But part of his legal strategy was to be like, hey, this time around, we are going to completely like just blitz, like with so many orders, there's so many things. And yes, some of the shit is going to be crazy and over the top. And we know it's not going to work out. Like the birthright citizenship shit. But it doesn't matter. Or even like saying, hey, we want to shut down and take away all these fucking grants. You can probably bet that they know that this is a very like wild thing to just like say, hey, we want to do a blanket, just freeze, close, and not actually get specific. We just don't, we just want to be allowed to do that. This is Donald Trump. This is what Donald Trump wants. Let it happen. And essentially it's like, no, you know, it's not. But regardless, this is all a part of the campaign now to just say, hey, I keep saying this shit, but flood the zone. And essentially you have to fight so many things legally, financially. Like, yes, this is technically the government we're talking about and like other nonprofits and like so many things rallying together, but you just get exhausted in all these ways. And we get more or less what we want to get through. Maybe not everything, sure, but we didn't get everything in the fucking first term, and we're fine with that. We're still here. We're still able to make this shit happen. Like, I feel like to guys like Miller, they actually are almost logged in to like this American long view, which is not something you really do because it's hard to do when every 4 years you're most likely going to fucking switch up because everyone hates the incumbent and wants to get rid of them. That's just like a general trend. It's hard, not to say impossible. Obviously, we've had, Bush, we've had Obama. They did 8 terms. It's definitely possible, but, and others. But that being said, even 8 years, like that's not that long. But the idea of just saying, hey, we have the tools, we have the hammers, we have the nails. We can make this shit happen over fucking time. Like, that's why this shit was so menacing. And obviously, I had plenty of friends, plenty of people on social media and shit were ringing the alarm. This shit is bad. This shit is scary. That Project 2025 shit is crazy. But, like, it's from, like, it's, like, of the brain from, like, guys like the Miller guy. So that's why I'm glad I got at least a chance to kind of mention that dude in this whole fucking foray here. Just real freaks on the fucking deck right now. Let's see here. What else did I really want to pull from this? I mean, I'm glad that there is a block here, and hopefully this is one of the things that does get stopped. Because, I mean, for Trump, he's trying to say, hey, there's, like, specific DEI things. I want to stop some trans stuff, which I want to get into. But we're not going to stop, Medicaid or Social Security. So, like, no, we're not fucking with that. But even though that's something that has been talked about, and if they had the chance, there's totally a chance that there's totally a chance that they take that. Also, like, we've heard Donald Trump like go to I believe it was North or South Carolina, essentially in the hurricane tragedy that happened last year, and he was just railing against FEMA and saying how bad of a job they did. And he's like, we really need to do something to rework it, or I don't even know, maybe just get rid of it. And it's like, that's not doing any of the Carolinians a favor. That's not doing any American a favor. And yes, I remember 2016 where FEMA was not 2016. Whenever Hurricane Katrina happened, fuck me. It's been a while, and time is fucking a flat circle. Whatever. But Hurricane Katrina fucking happened. FEMA drops the fucking ball. Like, yes, it's not perfect. It's not a good thing. It fucks up a lot. But that being said, these things need to be here. Like, if you just completely dismantle them, then what's going to happen when the next hurricane comes, when the next wildfire comes? Like, you're just going to be like, hey, the state should just take care of it. And that's fine. They can fend for themselves. Like, you really have to stop and think about this shit, right? And obviously, I'm not doing a good job explaining it, right? I'm not painting the picture well. But you get what I'm fucking saying. Like, in that way, in that regard, I completely understand why people freak the fuck out that we're living in these times right now. It's scary. It sucks. Because it's like, well, yeah, then you start thinking about, well, how then is it going to affect me if something like that happens? If these federal grants and loans get taken away? What is going to happen to me? You should think about that. That should concern you. You should look into that. You know what I mean? Not that we could do much about it for right now, but I mean, hey, maybe that affects your decision, when you go to vote again. I know, that's neither here nor there. That's 4 years away. I don't even want to talk about that shit. But yeah, man, this is some spooky, scary shit. Far from hilarious. Let's see here. I don't really want to talk any more details on this. Let's move on. From PBS News, Trump signs order to end federal support for gender transitions for people under 19. Once again, this is not a surprising order, but once again, just a part of that blitz where you're saying, hey, and I love the splashing of like the words common sense, like common sense law, common sense economics, or whatever the fuck. Like whenever you're challenging conservatives right now, like that's essentially what they're saying. It's like, oh, we're not taking anybody's rights away. We're just talking about common sense stuff. We're just going to get back to common sense. We're talking about science, even though, and I've had this conversation 1,000 fucking times, and I know I have to have it again and again and again, but it's like, bro, you are only making it harder for children to be children, for people to be people. You are not saving any kids with this shit. You are not unconfusing your kids. You're not getting them back to logic and reason. No, you're just giving them a chance to be like, hey, just so you know, this is considered a bad thing. So you should bully anyone who's even close to this. You should make this should feel bad to you. Like the confusion you have, you should feel this as a negative. You shouldn't want to work through it in any kind of positive way. That's what this shit does at the end of the day. But, it kicks a football along, and you don't have to worry about any real fucking issues, like the one we're going to actually close out on, like some real economic shit. But, it is what it is. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to have this shit pushed and pressed and to do everything that you can to try to erase someone's existence is just vile to me. It won't ever not be to me. In this regard for, the transgender people, for anyone who's black or brown, when you think about this diversity shit, because they're trying to say that shit does not matter. And this has always been about merit. And that's all that matters. If you just try your best, you will succeed. And we know that that's a fucking joke. And I'm not just talking about America. Like, that is the way that this shit is designed, period, for all of us right now. But whatever, man. We are going to move, and we are going to keep going. I appreciate the people, my friends, and just people I see online that push that, because I know it can be so easy to just get in the weeds and just start doing the infighting, start doing the pointing the fingers and screaming and crying and doing all those things. And I know I'm gonna do that shit too, because sometimes you just gotta. I get it. I do get it. Sometimes I can be contrarian about it, but I do get it. But I love the people who are like, no matter what happens, we're always going to look out for each other. I think that is a very key, important thing to not lose, to not forget. I say that as a selfish person. I know there's so many times where I got to worry about me. I got to do me. But it is so important to look to the right and to the left of you and always know that that's your person. Even if sometimes you don't always agree on blah, blah, bullshit, whatever. Like, I've definitely, throughout my time, I've been in the trenches, I've been in the pits with some crazy motherfuckers, and it's crazy that they've come around and helped me out. And, that's the kind of shit that those people I take bullets for. Those are the people I work harder for. Those are the people I do way more for, and I'm chummy and Charlie for them. I don't know. But, to me, that's what it's about. I don't give a fuck about what the government's going to do at the end of the day, until they're fucking, barking down my door, doing my shit 1984 style. Like, I can't really be bothered about it, really. I'm just going to do my fucking due diligence, do my business. But love the person, care for the people to the left and right of you, and just do your best. That's all we can do. And, I don't know. I don't really have anything else to add on that part. But let's go ahead and close out. Like I said, we got to talk about the economy. We got to talk about poultry. We got to talk about fucking eggs, dude. It's crazy. Bird flu is back like it never left. Caw-caw. Oh man. All right. Axios. All right, I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I like Axios because it is the like online digital media equivalent of like a news pop-up book. The way it bullets everything, I love that. It makes it so much easier to digest, and I wish all the news is like that, but it also feels like it's like a little lazy for that. But I do love it. I appreciate it. You know, like I said, for my little brain. Anyway, egg shortages, higher prices spike as bird flu grows. The escalating bird flu crisis is ravaging the nation's supply of eggs, leading to increased prices and presenting an immediate challenge for the Trump administration. You know, because they were going to make sure that eggs were going to go down. He was going to fix inflation, right? You know, Ukraine and Russia, that was going to be done in 24 hours. Now, I already told you, they already said before he even got in, hey, it's going to be like actually like maybe some months, you know. But, you know, we did the ceasefire. We did that. Trump did, he did that. Even though he wants to like, you know, clean out Gaza, like we talked about the other day. So yeah, you're really on it there, bud. And of course, the economy. He's fixing it. It's gonna get so fixed. But what if that bird flu shit that we were talking about from last year just keeps on rolling? What? And now we're here. And now eggs are apparently like plus $6, plus $7 in some situations, that you're getting cleaned out in stores of eggs. People are coming and trying to hit multiple stores just to get eggs. And this is one of those things where it always is lost on me. It always goes over my head because I'm not an egg guy. Eggs don't sit well in my little tummy. So I only eat eggs if I am like it's on a little meal or something. It's in my little McDonald's little brekkie, or it's in my little restaurant little brekkie. But, you know, I'm not doing that very often. I don't really love an egg. But that being said, eggs is a big deal. I've noticed a lot, like once again, referencing the gym bros, they eat a lot of eggs. They love that protein for that. And I get it. That's good. But once again, it makes me a little it makes me farty. I don't like being farty. I try to avoid that. I am pro bean though. So, you know, it is what it is. You take some, you don't like others, right? But even so, I get how this affects a lot of people because it's like, hey, gym bro or just regular bro, you like your eggs, you know what I mean? You want to have that, and you can't hoard eggs. It's just not how it works. Like they don't sit well. So the idea, and also this pairs really badly with the situation of bird flu, where it's like, okay, we know that we have it on the farm. You know, these birds have got infected. We have to cull the herd. All these chickens got to die. And then we gotta, you know, get some new chickens. That's gonna take time. All of this shit is going to get downlined to who? The customer, to us. And how is Trump gonna fix that? Well, they don't really know. I guess they're gonna take more of your government assistance and, you know, some of your rights away or whatever the fuck. And that's how they do it. I don't fucking know. He's a miracle worker, some say. Touched by God, some say. Oh man, our God Emperor. All right, I gotta cut it. I cannot go over an hour, or TikTok will take me out back and unalive me. Anyway, that's been the episode. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com/SuzanneNews. Become a newsie today. The roll call is coming up. You know, shout outs. I plug your name, plug a project if you like. Let's see here. Free ways to hit me up, IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube. Follow me on TikTok. You know, I mean, that kind of all blends together, but, you know, platforming. Spotify, that's another key one. I love the metrics on Spotify, even though I'm a small bean. You know, just trying to get there and trying to level up, if you will. But hit the like button. Leave a cool comment. We love cool comments. If your comment's mean or gross or whatever, algorithm be damned, I'll probably get rid of it because that's not my vibe, bro. I don't, just be cool unless it's a good critique, unless you're saying a thing to help me get better. I'll take that, or correction. We love a correction. I actually get a shout out sometimes if you do a good correction. Don't be cringe about it, but just hey. But yeah, sharing is caring. If you want to do that, you can hit the little share button, spread the word, or that's also okay if you don't. Listening is really key. That's super cool. I've said it before, I'll say it again. We love a listener who just likes hanging out, just likes being a chill viber with me. Why I just ruminate on why the world's so crazy, what's going on, what I ate yesterday. So yeah, you're a real one just for doing that. Thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.